what is quick these days? 30 minutes. One time I hopped on here and then I was on here for a quick hot hour, right? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I'm using my family fam deck today, since it is Sunday. Okay. The dog has been fed. She's got her snack. She's been out to potty. I can't control the background noise at that point. So, it may be just part of it today, part of the read. You guys, as I was sitting here kind of meditating on this reading, before getting into it and some of the messages that I got downloaded, I remember that I had this dream last night, and in the dream, somebody gave me a gun, like kind of just like threw this gun at me, and and I had to ask them. I remember, like, show me how to use this thing, right? Because I'm not, I don't do the concealed carry stuff, and actually in the state that I live in, I don't even have we call it a FOID card here, like a gun owner's card. Um, yeah, collective, some of these things that are coming through today are specifically, I feel like, regarding maybe your throat chakra. And that is part of why I titled this, Here's the Real Deal. I've actually been called the real deal before by peers who, now, suddenly think I'm like dirt or something, and, that kind of thing. Anyway, uh, but I've been, when people try and compare you to other people and they're like, oh, well, you're not like so and so, you're the real deal. And it's like, yeah, I am a real singer. I am a real tarot reader. I am a real person. I went to a real high school, right? Everybody has a different set of gifts over the course of their life. And collective, I feel like for some of you, you may be either tapping into that, have tapped into that previously. Um, but like with anything, practice makes perfect. So if you stop practicing those things, including your perhaps intuitive gifts, you might be a little rusty, So, yeah, you might have to take a beginner's approach with some of these things, right? But yeah, so here's your real tarot reading, your real energy reading. And I consider myself an energy reader. I use the cards to confirm some of these messages and energies, or to clarify them. Okay, so please only take what resonates with you today. If this message isn't resonating with you, that's fine. It's just may not be the energy that you're in. If so, feel free to click off the reading and find a different style of reading that might better suit the energy that you're experiencing. Okay, there's a lot of folks that do astrology based, sign based tarot. I may mention signs in this reading, but it's only if I'm guided to. Okay, so take that as it resonates as well. All right. And I also advise that we, have multiple, at least two that I know of, main systems of astrology, the Western astrology that most people in the United States are familiar with. And then we have Vedic or sidereal astrology, which most people in the Eastern Hemisphere, specifically India, and folks that highly use astrology in their daily lives. So those chart calculations are a little bit different. I recommend that you look at both of them. So keep that in mind as you're hearing some of these signs. That's why I don't like, do a lot of sign readings specific, because and specifically, like, when I first started, I've been doing this now for I don't know exactly when I start. I'd have to go back at the actual date of my first reading that I posted, but I was doing working with the cards before that on my own, and before I started posting videos. But you know let's see here. Look at y'all, China Cats. The Sun card right here in your root. That's very, very powerful, very strong. So I feel like for a lot of you, you're definitely shining from within. Maybe right now is kind of your time to shine. Maybe you're not holding back anymore.
Mhm.
Like you feel secure within yourself, therefore you're able to sprout. Okay. One of my Facebook friends, they posted to their story. Hi Alicia, if you're watching. Um, she posted something that said, you can only ascend as far as you are rooted, right? So it's kind of, like these beautiful sunflowers that come up and grow, right? Um, if you looked at their root system, you'd probably see that it's fairly right. You've seen that before, like on a tree. You can see the top of the tree and then the underside of the tree. It's just as complex looking as the top side that everybody on the outside sees, right? Um, so for many of you, the time maybe to call upon these gifts and these things that you've developed, okay, it's time to kind of release them into their growth potential. Sorry, I am scratching my eyeball. I did not take any allergy medicine today. I've been trying to refrain from doing that, but the allergies in my area have just been really bad lately, you guys. It's been all in the eyes. Anyway, that's what you get for being a Midwesterner. We get all four seasons, sometimes in one day, and we also get, allergies. The cicadas are here. It's just like, right? The locusts! The locusts are coming. Don't mess around with that biblical stuff, man. I'm telling you what, I wouldn't mess around with it. Hello, Angela. Hi. If you're new, welcome. Please do subscribe or like the video. The Five of Wands here in your sacral chakra. There might be some people competing for your time, and specifically time to kind of like talk about, the romance element, right, of your life. Um, some of these people may have good intentions for you. Some of these people may be more like friendly intentions. Some of these people may, it's kind of one of those things where you might want to put a little forethought into it, right? Before just jumping in, because it's like, wait a second, how am I going to even fit in here? And this is just too busy for me or whatever. So, some of you may have been drawing back from that, but where you're getting your power, I feel like, is more through some friendships that you've had. Okay. Um, so I don't feel like for a lot of you that you're rushing into this kind of situation here in the sacral. I was watching a reader yesterday. She popped back up on YouTube. I feel like half the readers out there, their name's Ashley, but because I want to say her name's Ashley, but I don't know that she has a different name, I think, on her channel now. But she's doing some different kind of readings, and but one of the things she mentioned is watching, like a sacral healing meditation. So if you're not familiar with your chakras, right, you have your root or your base chakra, and then you have your sacral chakra, bottom of the deck, Scorpio. Scorpio knows about the sacral chakra, right? um so, and sometimes that's the thing too. It's like Scorpio, like if you are, so okay, here's one of these signs calling you out now, Scorpio, right? And Scorpio, you just might be somebody that kind of exudes like a natural sexual energy, right? Might seem, especially if you're kind of mysterious, a lot of Scorpios are known for that. A lot of people want to kind of be in that type of energy with you, but it's like you're not doing anything. It's just like your essence, okay? And so, like you could be like standing in line at the grocery store, right? I mean, like I watched this video on Snapchat the other day, and like this dude was like macking on these women, and I think he already has a girlfriend or two or three. He's one of these, this is his career on social media, if it gives you the picture anyway, right? So it's like I was like, I would not have been entertained. Like many of these women were not entertained by him trying to hit them up at the self-checkout lane at Walmart. Like he wasn't even trying to help these women out with their groceries or nothing. Nothing. Just, hey, you look good. Hey girl. Hey girl. It's like I would be like, get the security. Like I hope it was a stunt where I don't think he knew some of these women though. It just gets gross and grimy, right? And it's like that's I feel like for some of you, if you're struggling with people coming at you with that kind of energy, you might want to do a sacral healing meditation, okay, to give some more protection around that. Hello, J Icer JC 2023. What year did you create that profile, right? Anyway, let's continue on here into the solar plexus, right above the sacral. The Page of Cups. Somebody potentially that you've been working with feels like there's some romantic potential between you. I don't know that you're seeing it the same way, and quite honestly, they might only be seeing it as far as their own nose. You know what I mean? Like, and you know how they say, don't cut off your nose to spite your face. So it's interesting here, this flag, it also shows the seasons, the phases of the moon here. And this is we just had a new moon, right? So I just like saw, like this one the other night. It was quite beautiful, and you could see, the shadow of the moon lining in the sky. It was nice and clear for a moment there. We had some cloud cover. I think we also, in our town, we had one of those drone shows. This message is held for review, view message. So yeah, if you're sending like cruddy stuff in the chat, I have my settings right on. So don't think you're gonna get away with stuff. All right, whoever you are in the chat. I'm not trying to like, okay, I'm just, right. You're gonna get a big old load of heartbreak if you're trying to pull some ish. Okay? Okay. Because it ain't me that's coming after you. Like that's protection. Okay, you get it? And so for some of you, you really might need there's also meditations out there. I'll repost it. I had a link to one. It's just I used to listen to it on my lunch break when I worked in the corporate world, and I would take walks at the local park before I had my dog, and I would listen to this. It wasn't just sacral chakra, it was all of the chakras, a chakra meditation, and it went through in about an hour's time span, so I was usually able to get through about all of it during my lunchtime, you know what I mean? And if I wasn't scheduled back to back with meetings. Fishy, Vanny, K, Y, Rick Games, Snow loves children. That kind of sounds gross. So I don't know if I can click on you from here. I'm just gonna remove you. I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, exactly. Look how somebody had to drop out of the chat. Bye bye. Right now, they said who was that? What was that game show? The bye bye. Oh, it wasn't a game show. That was you guys. This is so nerdy. It's cool. It's amazing. McLaughlin Group, PBS. Yeah. Dude used to be a priest, and then he ended up being a talk show host. Very, very interesting. Bum, ba, dun, dun, dun. Oh, well, that ought to do it. I didn't know I could put people in timeout, and I just did. How fun. Anyway, Knight of Cups Collective in your heart chakra. Yeah, exactly. You're looking for something with a little bit more substance than the page, right? Something a little bit more developed than the page, okay? when the pages just kind of like sitting there wistfully like, oh, this is so great. Wouldn't this be so awesome and amazing? It's like, well, did you think about the time that it takes and the work that it takes and la 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 la, right? It's that kind of thing, okay? So the knight is coming here like the knight's been through training. The knight has been through some battles. The knight has, you know what I'm saying, like ducking and dodging and whoosh. Hey karmic, psh, hey karmic, psh, right? Like you guys, some days I just can't. It's like, you know, spirit's money. Anyway, um again, collective, that might be something as well that you need to maybe get back to is things that make you kind of happy just like from a natural state of being, right? Like what gives you some simple joy, pleasure, laughter, what's something that makes you smile, okay? Because you know a lot of this busyness and you know it gets stressful and then and that's where people's chakras get, you know, misaligned, blocked, neglected, right? Um, yeah, and it's not, you know, and I hate to say even blocked because it might just be one of those things where you're just not giving attention to it. Well, like there was a Snapchat story. The woman was a podiatrist, and one of the patients came in, and she had not seen her foot in 2 years because she left it wrapped up in a boot and a sock, and she showered with this on too the whole time. Like the woman unwrapped it. I mean, it was still there. Anyway, so you know, it's like, but it was still part of her body. It's like she just acted like it wasn't there. And that's what I feel like for some of you collective, maybe this sacral, and that's why, you know, like you might have just been like, well, if I just ignore it, and it's like, well, if you happen to be a Scorpio or maybe even a Leo, right? Okay. You know, you just got that little va va voom going on. Thank you. Yes, people are strange. And it's like they wanna step to you. They want to come towards you, right? And it's like, well, that's cool and all, but like, are they coming with you with what? Right? How honest is this offer? Right? Okay. You have to let your own intuition and use your own discernment and things of that nature. You have to let that be your guide, right? And if you're unsure of that, then, you know, you call upon your higher power to help you, right? Mhm. Okay. And somebody definitely wants to help you work on this with the Two of Cups right here in the throat chakra. What did I say at the beginning of the reading about the throat chakra? So somebody definitely could be wanting to talk to you about, you know, maybe before, like maybe they had some time to think about it kind of thing. And now it is. It's like now I can kind of come at the collective with something a little bit more realistic, something that's been, you know, tested, you know, in a way, right? And now it's like, okay, I want to enter this magical fairy tale with my, you know, partner here in the collective, right? Um, and yeah, it's not always the easiest thing, but you know, somebody that is using guidance, right, is going to be able to actually be on that journey with you, right? Versus working against you and pulling away from and being, you know, like in that page, the more selfish. You know what I mean? It's like they're looking out here, but it's like, what do they even see? Are they even seeing? You know, it's just like, it's like, well, do you see that you're right? Okay. Romeo, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Well, last week he was chasing Rosalind, right? Okay, just remember that, folks. Just remember. Being called a Romeo is not necessarily a compliment. No, it is not. And then what happened to them? And then what happened to them? If you ask me, it was better off with Rosalind. Nobody died. Nobody died. Nobody died. Thank you. Rosalind was hot. You know? Maybe you've seen some adaptations. I saw the one, I think her name is Olivia Hussey, is like that's like we saw that in school and like we saw a boob in school. It's like, you know. And then the other one I saw was the Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes, that one. Um, think they made that in the early 90s. Anyway, My Soul Cold Life, if you haven't ever seen that, ladies, teenage girls, teenage boys too. It's very angsty. It's very angsty. It's great. Two of Pentacles. So, collective, for a lot of you, I feel like when this person comes towards you, you're going to be like, I don't really know how this can work. You're not seeing the vision. So funny. And again, another video I saw, it was funny. The girl was trying on this outfit and she was, saying to her friend, like, you don't get the vision, and then she turned and then you see it and it's like, right? It's like, I'm trying, but I don't see it yet. There's things that are undecided, right? Again, so collective, this is like you have the choice, you have the power. You don't have to accept, things in their status quo. You can kind of say, well, I don't really like it that way, but I would like it this way. Right. You are smarter than the average bear. Well, I feel like people that tap into their intuition could be considered smarter than the average bear because we are not willing, right? We are not willing to let other people influence us in ways that negatively affect our energy, right? Okay. But that's not without learning hard lessons sometimes, right? And collective, again, that's some of these kind of, it's like, well, I've been through this before, so is this something I really want to do again, right? And it's like this Knight of Cups though feels like more free and not necessarily coming in there and swinging the sword, and it's just like, this is kind of like after the fight almost. It's like I'm chilling now. I'm on vacation now, right? Get with the program or leave, right? And I think that's part of this where things might come to pass because you're like, look, again, you're putting stress onto me, putting me into, ultimatums here. And where you started out, collective, was you didn't have to move. You didn't have to do anything. You, don't go changing, right? Na, 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 na. Just the way you are. Thank you. Hello. Now, collective, if you are somebody who, goes around robbing gas stations and liquor stores, I'm gonna assume that it might be a little difficult for somebody to love you just the way you are, except your mother, right? Or somebody like that. We're not really talking about that. Okay. We're talking about, and here I got this channel message earlier. And it's funny because I made like a little mini video. Somebody could have Cancer on their chart as well. Check out your Jupiter signs, planet of good luck and planet of expansion. Collective in the crown now. Wow. Look at that. The Lover's card, Gemini as well. So whoever it is that's going to partner with you is going to love you just as you are. Okay. So I made this video once because I have a smart speaker in my house, and I'm always yelling at it like, play this, play that, and like my ex would have hated that. Like he just it was all about what he wanted to listen to or what he wanted to watch. And it's just funny. And as I was kind of getting this download earlier today, I realized, I was like, you know what? he's not the only guy that I've been around that didn't want me to sing, didn't want me to experience joy, and some of that happened even like when I was in high school. People that I was around, or like shortly after high school, around or was dating, like literally told me to stop singing, or like, I mean, we're just like hanging out and chilling, trying to have fun, and it's like, wow, what a drip. Okay. But everyone else thinks this person's great and so fun and so cool to hang around, right? So it's like, well, the problem must be with the collective, right? That's the kind of put the brakes on, put the brakes on. Yeah, hey, hey, streetcar, streetcar. Because bitches, I ain't moving. I'm not going anywhere. What do you think about that? Rooted right here. Real deal. Right? Okay. Because a fake plant, right? A fake flower, you can just pick up and move anywhere. You can't just be uprooting all his, you know what I'm saying? So even in some of this, I'll say trials and tribulations you may have experienced, collective, what it has done has provided nutrients at the root for you to be this on the outside, right? And that's why all of a sudden it's like, oh, I got to get some of that. And it's like, I don't know if nobody told you, but you cannot bottle my essence. No, you cannot. No, you cannot. No. Mm-mm. Right? I think the collective that I'm reading for right now is proud to wear their battle scars. Like, I don't care who knows it. And what are they going to do about it? You know? Do we need to go on Dateline NBC? What's wrong with your leg? I don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, don't make me. Oh, here's Scorpio again. Maybe this is Scorpio's reading. Again, we had a new moon also, you guys, recently. I am getting close to my 30-minute mark here, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull from the Moonology deck, since we did. Is that a band-aid? Yes, it is a band-aid. Rita, Virgo. I don't think I've pulled any Virgo. I do have a couple Virgo readings on my channel. And sometimes it does come up, but I have not pulled too heavy on the earth signs recently. But if you do need unless you want to order a personal reading, which you can go to the description box on the main part of my channel, and it has all that information there if you'd require a personal reading. Okay, otherwise I would advise looking around on the channel or seeking out another channel that does sign specific readings. Okay, work through your fears against Scorpio. I feel like this reading is for some Scorpio out there. Maybe you have some Scorpio in your chart as well. Sorry, I hope the Band-Aid for you that are concerned. Thank you for your concern. I do appreciate it. That was, I actually had a mole. I had one removed right here as well, which they're testing that one. The one on my thigh I had since like birth basically, but he said it was getting a little dark, so I let them go ahead and they, numbed it and then scraped it out of me. And then this one they scraped off as well. So then I should get my results back in another probably week or so. I think it takes, to make sure that there's nothing wrong. Well, here's a Virgo, Rita, a time to give rather than take. Okay. So there's some real peace here as well. And this is new moon also. So, and collective, I feel like, the collective overall is a very, they are usually the givers in, relationships and things like that. Okay. Um, but what I think this is saying right now is that it's okay to give yourself the opportunity, right? Um, give yourself the time. All right. And what part of that is going to do for you, it's going to allow you to listen more closely to what, the universe, to what spirit wants you to be doing, right? And your purpose, okay? And in that way, right, you can then give, right? And make a difference, a positive difference, right? Again, like what I was saying earlier, loving just as you are, using your gifts, your gifts are not used to rob liquor stores, right? Your gifts are used to help people, right? you know so maybe you're somebody who maybe you can't give financially, but you can give your time. You know what I mean? Like I know a lady that does some work down at a local soup kitchen quite often, and they get all sorts of crazy donations in, and they have to kind of come up with, it's almost like being on Chopped, right? Surrender to the divine full moon. So maybe for some of you, this is an intention that you may have set as part of this new moon, is that, you know what, you're like, I'm gonna stop fighting the tide, right? I'm gonna stop fighting the flow of what, spirit, or what that, that nagging voice, right? um it's like, sometimes that nagging voice is the one that says, pay your bills, right? I mean, that's a very earth sign, right? thing to be concerned about. Like, earth signs are very much about, making sure their home is covered, right? Like, earth signs aren't going to be going without insurance and stuff. You know what I mean? They're not they're not out here without checking accounts. Okay? And that might make you feel very structured, but at the same time, it's okay to let, the flow of life come to you, so that what you're supposed to be doing, right? You know. And for some of you, maybe it is paying your bills. I mean, I don't know. Right? So, I'm going to pull a couple light worker cards for you guys, and then I'm going to go ahead and close it out. Thank you for joining me today. If you are new, please do subscribe or like the video. It helps pass the messages along to those who may need them, okay? So if you want to help give somebody a little positive flow into their day, please do that. Or, share this message, share this video with a friend, okay? Maybe that's something that you can talk about and say, hey, what do you think about that? Have you ever had your, like, a Reiki treatment? Okay. If you feel misaligned in your chakras, that's something that you can do. I'm not a trained Reiki person. Um, but there are people that are, and they do like hands-on treatments. Okay. So that's interesting. This mirror here is on the bottom because I feel like Scorpio is a very triggering type energy, and specifically with that sacral, I feel like that is speaking to you guys. So I would definitely check that out. Get grounded, empaths, highly sensitives, connect with nature. This is earth sign energy as well, right? Maybe you have plants, maybe you have animals, like I have my dog. Highly sensitives, empaths. So people that some people like talk to their plants, connect with their plants, right? Okay. Some people might think that's strange, but it's just, a thing. Just kind of like how people talk to their animals. Some people are more in tune with those kinds of things. um do you have to be raised that way? Could it help? Sure. But that doesn't mean you don't have the power to tap into it. Again, what I was saying at the beginning of the message, okay? So just because somebody else told you not to do something doesn't mean that their opinion is God. Just like everything I'm saying here, you can say, I'm not listening to that lady. And guess what? You're not going to hurt my feelings. Okay? You know? Yeah, take it with a grain of salt. Every day. Every day. Okay? Akasha. Your guidance is divinely guided. You may have heard of Akashic Records. So, yeah, again, if you are not quite seeing the vision here and it's still looking a little complicated to you, collective, wait until you do see it clearly, right? Again, there's no need for you to rush something that's meant for you, something that you have within you, okay? And I don't think this is necessarily putting things off, collective. I think this is just, um, you know, yeah, look at this. Wow. Wait, postpone. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say no. I mean, somebody could come at you with, some kind of relationship proposal and you're like, maybe you're like, I don't see it right now. Like, we don't live in the same town or the same state, or, maybe they have kids and you don't, and it's just a lifestyle thing right now. Maybe they work 100 hours a week and, I mean, you're like, there, you, just because, right? Just because it's coming here doesn't mean, it doesn't, somebody in the chat saying she said no. That doesn't mean that there's no ways around it, right? Because here, collective, this crown, you're meant to find a way to be with the person that you're meant to be with. Okay. So, Pleiades, double mission. Oh, yeah. Yep. There's other figures here, but this, okay. Pleiades is also the Seven Sisters, I believe. I don't know if that's my second most favorite constellation, or maybe. Definitely not my first favorite. Channeling and uplifting humanity. Okay. So I feel like collective, yes. Thank you. Yes, right? Thank you for the gifts of life. Thank you for being able to share our gifts, right? Some people are extroverted. Many Leos may be extroverted, right? If you were born under the star sign of Leo or sun sign of Leo and you're like, I don't feel like extroverted, again, look at your chart. Look at what else is in there. You might have a whole bunch. I mean, there's, quite a bit of water in this reading as well right now. You could have a lot of water in your chart. You could have some air in your chart here with Gemini. Okay. So, channeling and uplifting humanity. Yes. Okay. So, I will leave that as your final message. Okay. Aside from that, until next time, please do manifest wisely. Please like or subscribe, and I hope you have a good day. Bye-bye.